In every quiet town, behind the familiar smiles of neighbors and the gentle hum of daily routines, sometimes hide dark secrets that wait for decades to come to light. This is the story of Edna Schubert, a beloved grandmother from Bay Shore in Suffolk County, whose tragic death in December 2003 shocked a community and went unsolved for over 20 years, until breakthrough forensic evidence reawakened hope for justice. It was a cold winter evening when Bay Shore's routine charm was shattered. Neighbors exchanged greetings and local shops busied themselves for the season. Yet behind the calm, an unthinkable horror unfolded inside Edna's modest, well-kept home, a sanctuary that once echoed with laughter and love. One fateful night, a concerned neighbor, disturbed by strange, unsettling sounds, raced to alert the authorities. When the police arrived, they discovered a scene that defied comprehension. The home had been transformed into a tableau of chaos, a place where violence had ripped apart the peaceful life that the 88-year-old Edna had known. Edna had been brutally beaten to death. The shock rippled through the community, leaving everyone to ask, how could someone so gentle and beloved fall victim to such unspeakable violence? As investigators descended on the scene, the house itself began to tell its own tragic story. Picture a modest aging home with a broken window, a front door left ajar, and unmistakable signs of forced entry. Clear evidence that the crime had taken place within these walls. Inside, personal belongings lay scattered in disarray, each item a silent testament to a life filled with warmth and care, now brutally disrupted. Forensic teams worked tirelessly, meticulously combing every inch of the house. They captured early forensic photographs that documented the devastation, collected DNA samples, and preserved every fragment of evidence with the hope that one day, science would bridge the gap between mystery and justice. As you absorb these details, ask yourself, were we too slow to respond? Could a more urgent investigation have unearthed the truth sooner? Despite the immediate mobilization of law enforcement and forensic experts, the early investigation was plagued by challenges. Local officials faced harsh criticism for what many saw as a lack of prompt action, while sensational and conflicting media headlines deepened the public's frustration. Each passing day raised more questions than answers, and the community was left clinging to hope amid growing despair. How do you react when the system meant to protect you appears to falter at the most critical moment? As months turned into years, the Edna Schubert case gradually slipped into the grim category of cold cases. The DNA samples collected on that tragic night were stored away like silent sentinels, waiting for a breakthrough that seemed almost unattainable. For over 2 decades, Edna's family and neighbors were tormented by the lingering question, who could commit such a horrific act against someone as dearly loved as the 88-year-old Edna? In that prolonged silence, every stored sample became a symbol of potential justice, a promise that someday the truth might finally emerge. Then, in early 2025, a seismic shift occurred in forensic science. With groundbreaking advancements in DNA analysis and digital evidence processing, modern laboratories became capable of re-examining long-forgotten clues with unparalleled precision. Imagine a state-of-the-art forensic lab buzzing with activity. Digital screens aglow with intricate DNA sequences, experts poring over data, and powerful algorithms sifting through enormous criminal databases. In this environment, the long-dormant DNA samples from that fateful December night were reanalyzed with renewed determination. The results were nothing short of astonishing. The evidence pointed unequivocally to a suspect who had been overlooked for years, Raul Ayala. Raul Ayala, a man whose name had long been whispered in the shadows of the neighborhood, turned out to be living just a stone's throw away from Edna's home. Once seen as a quiet, unassuming neighbor, Ayala's turbulent past and elusive behavior began to cast a dark light on his true identity. As investigators dug deeper, they discovered that his record, filled with minor run-ins and troubling hints, had gone unnoticed by the community for far too long. With every new piece of re-examined evidence, the path to justice grew clearer. Have you ever wondered how close the perpetrator of a terrible crime could be, hiding in plain sight, right next door, until modern technology finally brought him to light? The arrest of Raul Ayala sent shockwaves through Bay Shore. Imagine a crisp winter morning punctuated by the roar of police vehicles converging on familiar streets, a moment when decades of unanswered pain began to give way to the promise of resolution. As the news spread, media outlets exploded with detailed reports, expert interviews, and emotional testimonies from those still mourning Edna. The public was riveted, and with each new revelation, questions mounted. Is this the long-awaited vindication that Edna's family has been yearning for? Can modern forensic science restore a community's shattered trust in its justice system? Even as the arrest brought a measure of closure, the emotional scars of losing the 88-year-old Edna remained deeply etched in the hearts of those who knew her. For her family, she was far more than a victim. She was the heart and soul of their lives, a loving matriarch whose gentle guidance and unwavering support had shaped generations. In intimate recollections, her daughter remembered the comforting sounds of family dinners and the joyful laughter that once filled their home, now replaced by a void that time alone could not heal. For the entire community, Edna's memory became a symbol of both profound loss and enduring love, a poignant reminder that behind every forensic report lies a human story, rich with emotion and deserving of relentless pursuit of truth. This case ignited a broader conversation about the evolution of forensic science and the transformative power of modern technology. Every chip of evidence, from a smudged fingerprint to the tiniest trace of DNA, played a crucial role in rewriting a story that had long been silenced. Critics argued that a more aggressive initial response might have spared years of uncertainty, while others marveled at how modern innovation transformed silent evidence into a clarion call for accountability. What if every unsolved mystery could one day be unraveled with the tools we have today? How do we harness these breakthroughs to ensure that no community is ever left in darkness? Throughout this unfolding drama, the interplay between human determination and scientific innovation was undeniable. In cutting-edge forensic labs, teams of dedicated professionals re-examined and reinterpreted every shred of evidence with unparalleled accuracy. The breakthrough in Edna's case was not just a victory for technology, it was a testament to the resilience of those who refuse to let a story remain unfinished. It reminds us that even in our darkest moments, the pursuit of truth can light the way forward, offering hope to families and communities alike. As you follow this riveting journey, consider the deeper questions it raises. How do we ensure that justice is never left waiting in the shadows? What lessons must we learn to protect the vulnerable and prevent such tragedies from recurring? And how can the unyielding power of modern forensic science inspire us to rethink our approach to unresolved mysteries? These questions lie at the heart of this saga, a call to action for all who believe in accountability, compassion, and the relentless search for truth. This story is not simply a recounting of a cold case finally solved. It is a rallying cry that challenges us to look deeper into our justice systems, to demand better for our communities, and to honor every victim with the pursuit of truth. Edna Schubert's legacy endures as a symbol of both profound sorrow and the resilient strength of community. Her story reminds us that every life is invaluable, and that behind every case number lies a deeply human narrative, deserving of empathy and relentless investigation. Have you ever wondered how a single drop of DNA could rewrite history? How can modern innovation transform a community's grief into a beacon of hope? And what does it take to honor a life lost by ensuring that no stone is left unturned in the quest for justice. These powerful questions invite us to reflect on the balance between technological progress and human empathy, urging us to never stop seeking answers. Thank you for joining us on this emotional journey through one of Suffolk County's most haunting, yet ultimately transformative cases. If you found this story as compelling as we did, please subscribe, like, share, and turn on post notifications to get your daily dose of juicy true crime and mystery. Your support fuels our relentless pursuit of truth in every story we uncover. Stay curious, stay safe,